As a blurb, once more, they did cover the 2 million person rally. They did. My birthday was Monday, the 14th. The event was on the Saturday, the 12th, and I saw it reported on my birthday on major news publications. Don't say they're not reporting stuff until you check your facts. Let's see. Jimmy Carter and the race card. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Jimmy Carter ever, and I can't wholly disagree with your indictment of him being partially responsible for illegal immigrants receiving Social Security if they have anchor babies. But I'd really like to point out, you can't just say the president did it. Congress, Senate in general, Senate, House, everybody has something to do with it. The president can't wave his hand and by fiat declare that illegal immigrants get Social Security. You're fooling yourself if you think that was a one-man initiative. In terms of the race card, we don't always play the race card. Though when you come out in blocks of 2 million and basically holler at all the Muslims around and say you don't want them and, yell at Obama and call them Nazis and blah, 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 and kind of smacks of racism. So here's what I'll do. Instead of playing the race card, I'll play the bigot card. You sound like a bigot. You're basically saying, you personally don't appear to be a racist. It sure doesn't come across that you are, but you're certainly a bigot. You're anti-gay. That's enough to make it. You're taking one group of people and saying that they are less, that they are dirty, that they are filthy evil, pick your word. That makes you a bigot. Once again, pull out Old Webster, open it up to the B's, find the word. You'll find that you qualify if you hold that position. It looks like we're kind of drawing near to the end here, and as I recall, one of your final points was on all the GMOs in food, etc., and I'm largely with you on that. I'm going to rewatch the section, and then I'll give you just a quick blurb on what I think, and then I think we're just about at the end of this, so we'll see in a sec. Okay, it's not about giving healthcare to Americans, it's about government power. Yeah, fine, everything's pretty much about government power. What do people with power want? Obviously, an increase in their power. Now, I gotta call you factually on one statement. You say that this will not help anybody. Sorry, I don't have health insurance. If this bill or one of the versions of it passes, I will have health insurance, so it'll help me. Statement invalidated. Fair enough. I don't know if you've really read up on the public option, which seems to be the most likely bill to be successfully passed with Congress support. The public option is not government power. The public option means that instead of allowing, I won't go in too far into it. It requires a little bit of reading to wrap your head around it, but it really just makes government subsidy part of one major healthcare organization, which can then be chosen by the un- or underinsured to supplement or add insurance. I don't see how that is government control of anything, since no one is forced to do anything. No one is required to give up the healthcare they already have. No one is required, even if they don't have healthcare and choose to seek it, no one's required to go through the public option. It simply provides a public option. I think that's what they mean by the word option. I feel like I'm referring to the dictionary a lot today, but I'm going to have to blame you, because you're pulling out stuff that I don't understand where you're coming from. Government power? Offering subsidized healthcare, which is coming from tax dollars that already exist, to provide healthcare for the un- and underinsured is government power? Sounds like it'd help me get my teeth fixed. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up by tackling the healthy foods stuff. I gotta come straight out and say I'm 100% with you. If they wanted us to be healthy, they would stop putting all this unhealthy crap in our food. Now the problem is that they is not the government, it's the pharmaceuticals industry and the companies that make the chemicals. The fact that they own the government doesn't help. By and large, they do own it. But once again, you're saying that the government chooses to put this stuff in our food. Now in certain circumstances, this is the case. For instance, the fluoride in the water. The research on this is not complete as of yet, but I tend to lean towards what you're saying, is that we should probably not have fluoride, at least not in the levels that we have currently in our drinking water. The fact is, too, there's a little gray area, because really most places you're not supposed to drink your tap water unless you filter it. That is the general advisory. Some time ago, the nation stopped treating its water and then started bottling water, basically, as the norm for drinking water. So I'm with you. They are not interested in our health. However, there's a reason there are so many obese people, particularly in America. It's because they don't want more expensive quality products, say organic vegetables. What they want is cheap, easily accessible, and lots of it. So, honestly, before you start talking about they, we need to start talking about us. We the people. If the people stop buying the genetically modified organisms and the partially hydrogenated trans fat crap, just stop buying it, they're going to stop making it toot sweet. Now, On the topic of population control, you have spent a little time basically establishing that how you feel the government operates as an entity is it's riding our backs to glory and fame and power and money, right? How would it benefit them to kill 90% of their workforce, 90% of their taxpayers? Doesn't sound like a very good way to achieve government power. They wouldn't have enough people to run the nation's infrastructure, much less wipe their asses and park their limos. Finally, I'm going to take your word for it that in some places they might be trying to get rid of organic farming techniques, but I've certainly never heard of it. Now, I happen to be a farmer in the great state of California, and I know people personally who have received massive tax credits and government subsidies for farming organically. In fact, to the point where the often arduous economic process of beginning an organic farm can be made quite a viable endeavor. I mean, they'll give you a $500,000 loan at some 4% fixed or something like that to start an organic farm. Doesn't sound like they're trying to get rid of the techniques to me. Perhaps California is the exception to the rule in that case in terms of the nation at large, but I have never heard of the government trying to get rid of any sort of organic farming techniques. Now, it's entirely possible that factory farm companies and corporations could be trying to squelch organic techniques in their area to, suppress competition, but you can't point the finger at Obama or the government on that. You really just plain can't. So I'll finish up the last couple seconds of your video here, but I think I've covered mostly everything I'd like to. I may have to split this into 2 parts, and if so, this will be right at the end of the second part.
This is Brigadier General Piper Whitefoot saying, Nix out.